Hi there, tea break tip, this time on good succession planning, and this is me with basic cup of tea really. So succession planning, what's all that about, and particularly when we're in small businesses? The point is that there are 4 key risks that we have to consider when we're talking about vacancies in our business and what's going to happen in the future. First of all, there is the vacancy risk itself. That's the risk of a key position being vacant over a longer period of time than we would like. And this risk could happen to any roles across the levels in the organisation and can make quite a key difference to how you as a business performs. Then there's the readiness risk. This is the risk of unprepared successors who take on the roles of. And this kind of risk becomes fairly debilitating when it happens at senior levels in the business. There's the transition risk, where you bring somebody in from outside, and because they don't know the history of the business in the same way that you do, there is the risk of the transition not going quite as well as one would like. And then the portfolio risk, the risk of deploying somebody from internal that actually is not done quite as well as it might do, and the talent doesn't meet the needs of the business goals. So understanding the risks is the first step to successfully address some of the areas that we've just mentioned. There's no ideal process. It must be tailored to the history and the culture of the organisation. But the first step really is to have a look at who is in the business already and where the gaps may be, and where some of those gaps might be filled in the future by people that are already in the organisation. So let's have a quick look at this nice little exercise here on succession planning. It's a 9-box exercise, and some of you will already know that I quite like the number 9. The purpose of it is to evaluate your current talent according to the actual performance and perceived leadership potential of the individuals within your organisation. So we have 2 axes. The first one is across the way, where we look at potential, so low potential here, high potential here, and then this axis where we look at high performance here and low performance down here. And if you have a look at the top right hand corner where we have high potential and high performance, that's our constant star, the one who does everything pretty much on target, on time. If we look in the opposite corner, we have our talent risk of low potential, low performance, probably shouldn't be in this business, probably needs to be better off in a different business where they can shine. Having identified the 9 boxes, we now identify which of the staff that we have and where they fit into each of those boxes. I love post-it notes. You may have already come across that yourself too. But if you put everybody's name on a post-it note, you can move them around the boxes, considering then what their potential is at the moment, how they perform to their potential, and what their performance is like. So having plotted where your current staff sit in the scheme of things, it gives you a great idea as to what you might want to do when you compare it to what vacancies might be arising in the future. So reflect on the results that you identify with this. Was it easy or difficult to do? Were there any surprises? Do you think that the individuals that you ranked would assess themselves in the same way? What is the implication of that? Do you have an appraisal scheme or an engagement review period where you can talk with people about moving up and over into different boxes? And if not, why not? Are you formally evaluating and developing leadership competencies within the business? And if yes, are they the right ones? Or maybe there are some other ones that you could perhaps consider. I want to show you this model. I came across this one through Towers Watson, and they suggest that succession planning is a dynamic process, that it should span all job levels and geographic boundaries, and aim to create a pool of talent that will meet the needs of the organisation at multiple levels. Strong succession planning enables an organisation to understand the skills and behaviours it needs to execute its business strategy. So the demand for leaders with the right experiences, values and competencies is on the left-hand side. We need to plan and source for those. We need to assess those that are in the business already. We need to deploy those that we think have greater capacity. We need to get those guys engaged and rewarded and further developed. And then we can plan and source some more, so that we have the supply of ready successors who can quickly translate into a new role and to bring with them to that role more than their predecessors had. The best prepared companies are the ones that look at developing middle and sometimes even first line managers, along with the critical technical roles that you need for the business. With adequate preparation, organisations can have leaders that are ready at all levels in order to take on what is next and where the business is going to. The importance with succession planning is quite often we don't know what's around the corner. We don't know what contingencies we need to put into place. But if we have people that are fully trained and fully working to their capacity, then we can feel sure that things will keep on an even keel when the environment is a little bit more rocky. So that's it, over and done with for me for this time. Succession planning, really quite important. Do make sure that you have a look at it as part of your annual business review.